first thing you want to do is take your piece of wood and cut out a stencil of what you want to do. In this case, the intricate hilt part. Then you cut that out and put adhesive, spray adhesive onto it and put it on the wood and trace it. Okay guys, so I've been cutting it out with the jigsaw. The first thing we did was cut it out with the table saw, the blade part. But what you should do first is actually take your stencil, see how wide the blade is, and then cut the blade part first. And then by doing that, you square up the hilt part, and then you line it up, because this blade part wasn't exactly flush with the edge of the wood, so we had to like freehand cut with the table saw, which is pretty dangerous, so you shouldn't really do that. Right now I'm almost done cutting out the ornate hilt part, and I'll show you that once it's done. I've cut out everything with the jigsaw except for that little hole in the middle of the Falchion hilt. So, well, I also cut out the blade profile too. So when you take the cardboard tube that you have and stick it on the end, you've got the Falchion. I'll show you the next step. Hole saw drill and drill out the hole. You have the hole cut out, you can cut out the rest of the teardrop shape with a jigsaw. So you have this piece. I just wrapped the tube in electrical tape, I don't know why. It might be a little too big for the tube, like too wide, and it just jiggles around and it's not tight. Little tip, wrap this in electrical tape, and once you put it on, yeah, it's nice and tight, it's not going anywhere. So that's one thing. You might want to reinforce that with hot glue or something, but there's the start of your Falchion. Take a measurement of the top of your blade to the end of the teardrop hole and cut a piece of molding that long. Guys, so I used the drill press with a sanding drum to make the blade profiles, and down here at the hilt beginning part, yeah, that's where the blade starts. And I took a little small dowel, thin dowel, cut it in half, beveled the edges and stuck that on there because it's on the real thing. That's what you have so far. Take your two wooden molding pieces and glue it onto either side of the blade. I'm using hot glue for this. Sorry, I can't. Wait a second, here we go. Take a hot glue gun. The glue, go like that. You put that on the blade thing, right there, like that. Do the same exact thing with the other one before your hot glue gun runs out of heat because you unplugged it for the tutorial. Hopefully this will work. Okay, like that. Shape out of the foam twice and hot glue it onto the hilt pieces here and on the other side. This shape twice out of foam core poster board, then glue them on either side of the teardrop shaped hole. This sort of shape. It's different every time, but cut out this relative shape out of the thin craft foam and hot glue it on the sides right here. Take some thin craft foam and cut about a 1/4 of an inch band that will wrap around the pommel of your sword. Guys, I've been doing some work on the Falchion. I haven't worked on the tutorial in a while, but I did paint it. I guess I skipped a few steps, not too many, but I think you can figure them out if you know what you're doing. I just painted the Falchion, like the hilt, not like the hilt guard part. I guess it's not a hilt guard because there's no cross piece. I painted that gold, and the center beam on both sides, you paint those gold, and then like the end of the pommel and the front grips, like right here. And then, you guessed it, I use the tinfoil tape right there. But you could use spray paint and just kind of like mask it off with painter's tape if you want, but I really don't like silver paint unless I'm like distressing something. I always use the tape because it's more convenient for me. But just yeah, put that down along either side of the blade on both sides. Now we're going to do the tip of the blade where it comes to a taper, and notice how I saved a piece of tinfoil tape that I ripped off the side. Just kind of just put it like that and smooth it out so there's less crinkles and wrinkles and stuff like that. Then you can use the excess and put it on that side. And then just fold it over. There. Now the tip's all covered in the tape. Little tricky, intricate parts are these squiggly pieces around the hilt thing. Just overlay them with the tinfoil tape, and then take an X-Acto knife or razor blade or something, and then just cut out that part, and then you'll be able to just peel off the top part and have the gold show. Preferably you would want spray paint to do this, like reddish, brownish spray paint, but since I don't have spray paint and I'm kind of impatient, I am going to use acrylics and hope that it works. Use acrylic and hope that it works. So right now I've got some burnt umber red, and I'm going to mix a little bit of vermilion in there. Let's see how this works. This is the tiniest bit of this stuff. Yeah. Please don't spread out everywhere. Use the razor blade. Yeah. What does that look like? Something to that effect. Then again, I'm colorblind, so I have no idea what color the handle is. Well, I have some idea. It's kind of like a reddish, maroonish, brownish something. Please tell me I'm right. There we go. Now I'm going to tape off the handle with some painter's tape. Probably should have put a primer on this thing. I'm just gonna wait for that to dry. Uh-oh.
I've got a respirator, but you don't have to have one. I'm just doing it inside like an idiot.
And there's the finished sword. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching.